Hello, happy Halloween. It is about 2:05 a.m., give or take, and I just hit my protein goal while maintaining in a calorie deficit or maintenance calories, not really with a calorie surplus. Probably for like the first time in my life, um, aimed for 1 gram per pound, so it was a lot. Um, I just wanted to talk about it because, man, I found it very difficult. Um, I had to measure out everything. Um, I think that sure, there can be things that you have to still take into account, things like sugar and whatnot. But even so, like, I only had like less than 100, a couple hundred calories of wiggle room, which I used as like dressing and I made these like wraps and things like that, adding in some vegetables for the wraps. And like everything else was protein, which was pretty hard. Um, I wonder if it would be noticeable after a certain amount of time. I can't imagine it couldn't be. Um, but it's this late because um, I was working out and I wanted to end it with a protein shake. So the workout took a little bit. I probably take too long in between my reps. Um, but I just found it pretty shocking. I don't think I've ever hit that much protein with that low calories before. So, it's really easy because most times when you have like proteins, it's bogged down by a bunch of sauces that are unhealthy or, wrapped in a bunch of carbs or something. Um, so I don't know how sustainable it is, especially, day to day, life happens. You're going out with friends, you're out to eat, or you just can't muster up you know a meal in the moment. um, I mean, most of the things I got were pretty easy to prep, but even then it was pretty hard just to keep track of everything. I'm mainly just keeping track of calories and protein. I am trying to keep an eye on the other stuff: sugars, fats, carbs, all that stuff. um, I don't want to go overboard in that. I do think that there is merit to that, but it's like there's different levels. It's like level 1 is just calories in, calories out. Level 2 is protein. Level 3 is monitoring that stuff. And then at that point, after that, it gets a little bit hard to keep track of. You kind of want to keep an uptake on it. Your omega 3s, your glycogen, your I can go on and on. Um, but Yeah, I don't mean for this channel to be all about health. It's just been a major point in terms of my life right now. Um, you probably have noticed in a lot of my uh, videos that I wear a lot of gaming shirts. I'm pretty into games. Um, so maybe at some point I'll talk about that. I'm not sure. I'd like that to be a bit more scripted, um, which is funny considering. um, but Yeah, I organize my thoughts more on that. I take critical analysis of media pretty seriously. Um, if people don't, then that's within their prerogative. It's just more so I like really reading into it just for food for thought. Um, but Yeah, I just kind of want to share that. We'll see how sustainable it is. I don't see me doing this every day. It seems like a hassle. There was a point where in the middle of my workout, I was like, am I even going to be able to have the protein shake? Because I felt a little nauseous. and I thought maybe it was because of how much protein I was having. And I looked online, and people can get sick from, a lot of protein. And I thought, well, maybe my body's just not used to it. Luckily, that isn't the case, I think. I think I was just dehydrated. I just had some water and I felt a little bit better. Then I had the shake, and then I turned on this video. But yeah, we'll see. I'm curious if, obviously I don't think that there's going to be major changes in one day of doing it. I think at this point in my life, I've learned my lesson with things like that. It's all baby steps. It's all like one step at a time. I mean, that goes for most things that are, like I've said before, worth working for. But with that said, I can see myself getting closer to it. So I went for it this time just because I was working out, because I had certain things and it just worked with the schedule and everything. And I kind of was going to feel guilty because today's Halloween, and I plan on enjoying some candy. So, that wiggle room that I would have had today, I don't even know how much it was, probably like 170 calories or so. That's like that's like an Almond Joy, like this size Almond Joy, or a Reese's cup. Like, there's just no way. I don't know if I'm actually gonna have that much candy. I told myself last year, I was like, I'm gonna go all out with I had a bunch of extra candy, because I bought candy for trick or treaters, and almost only a few kids came. And so I was like, oh, okay, well, more for me. And I only had a few pieces, and I was like, I'm good. I told myself, I'm going to just let myself go. This is one of those cheat days of the year. I think that there's certain cheat days of the year. There's like your birthday and, Thanksgiving, Halloween specifically for candy if you like that, maybe Christmas, maybe New Year's, and like, yeah, just certain days of the year where it's like, a special occasion. Like something specific to you, like your birthday is like, something that you're treating yourself. And then the other ones are like just sharing and not really being so high strung. I understand that not everyone can have cheat days. Some people need them to be like a break. I definitely see it on both sides. I see it as both like cutting myself a little loose, as well as it's easy to fall off the horse at that point. So, yeah. Overall, I've talked for a bit about just a lot of stuff. It's just been on my mind a lot. So I apologize if people aren't really interested in it. It's just very much something that I am. It's like my next step in my self-improvement, because I made serious strides in like my mental health in the last couple years, relationships in my life, just processing, critical thinking, my environment, my well-being, taking care of myself, everything. And then I moved on to the next step, which was taking care of me in my physical form. So that meant more so, dieting, exercise, hygiene. Eventually, I'd like to get a wardrobe overhaul. I've been saying that forever, though. I just can't. I can't get the gumption to get out there. I don't know why to do that. I did it recently. I bought a piece of clothing, and I had fun like just shopping around. So I don't know why I don't, even though I think it's just too foreign to me. But yeah, we'll see. For the longest time, my excuse was I'm losing weight. If I buy clothes, it just won't fit well. And like to a point, I get that. But at this point, I don't think my body, even though I'm going to be focusing on body recomposition, is going to really change that drastically. But we'll see. I mean, technically, I'm still wearing clothes that I wore before I lost weight. I think they just fit me a little differently. I think clothes like this look a little loose on me. They fit fine before. I just fit them differently now. So, yeah. I'm not sure what else. But I appreciate everyone that watches. Um, we'll see where more content goes. The fact that anyone wants to hear me talk is, like I always say, very flattering. I'm very thankful, very appreciative. Um, I'm just some random guy on the internet. So, thank you. And as always, take care.